True teachers are those who use themselves as bridges over which they invite their students to cross. Then, having facilitated their crossing, joyfully collapse, encouraging them to create their own. I was happy I knew that. While experiencing happiness, we have difficulty in being conscious of it. Only when the happiness is past and we look back on it do we suddenly realize, sometimes with astonishment, how happy we had been. Since we cannot change reality, let us change the eyes which see reality. I said to the almond tree, "Sister, speak to me of God." And the almond tree blossomed. Life is trouble. Only death is not. To be alive is to undo your belt and look for trouble. You have your brush, you have your colors, you paint the paradise, then in you go. You have everything but one thing, madness. A man needs a little madness or else he never dares cut the rope and be free. For I realize today that it is a mortal sin to violate the great laws of nature. We should not hurry, we should not be impatient, but we should confidently obey the eternal rhythm. Every man has his folly, but the greatest folly of all is not to have one. The highest point a man can attain is not knowledge, or virtue, or goodness, or victory, but something even greater, more heroic and more despairing, sacred awe. I hope nothing. I fear nothing. I am free. When everyone drowns and I'm the only one to escape, God is protecting me. When everyone else is saved and I'm the only one to drown, God is protecting me then too. Man is able and has the duty to reach the furthest point on the road he has chosen. Only by means of hope can we attain what is beyond hope. Truly, everything in this world depended on time. Time ripened all. If you had time, you succeeded in working the human mud internally and turning it into spirit. Then you did not fear death. If you did not have time, you perished. When I encounter a sunrise, a painting, a woman, or an idea that makes my heart bound like a young calf, then I know I am standing in front of happiness. Once more there sounded within me the terrible warning that there is only one life for all men, that there is only one life for all men, that there is no other, and that all that can be enjoyed must be enjoyed here. In eternity, no other chance will be given to us. Throughout my life, my greatest benefactors have been my travels and my dreams. Very few men, living or dead, have helped me in my struggles. Freedom was my first great desire. The second, which remains hidden within me to this day, tormenting me, was the desire for sanctity. Hero together with saint, such as mankind's supreme model. Once more I realized to what an extent earthly happiness is made to the measure of man. It is not a rare bird which we must pursue at one moment in heaven, at the next in our minds. Happiness is a domestic bird found in our own courtyards. While experiencing happiness, we have difficulty in being conscious of it. Only when the happiness is past and we look back on it do we suddenly realize, sometimes with astonishment, how happy we had been. An ardent desire to go took possession of me once more. Not because I wanted to leave. I was quite all right on this Cretan coast and felt happy and free there, and I needed nothing, but because I have always been consumed with one desire, to touch and see as much as possible of the earth and the sea before I die. I knew that over and above the truth, there exists another duty which is much more important and much more human. Beauty always had a purpose, to be of service to life. This, I thought, is how great visionaries and poets see everything as if for the first time. Each morning they see a new world before their eyes. They do not really see it, they create it. The great difference between us is this. You believe you have found salvation, and believing this, you are saved. I believe that salvation doesn't exist, and believing this, I am saved. Never in my life had I felt so tangibly and with such astonishment that hate, by passing successively through comprehension, mercy, and sympathy, can be transformed into love. The longer I live, the more I rebel. I'm not going to give in. I want to conquer the world. What do you have to fear? Nothing. Whom do you have to fear? No one. Why? Because whoever has joined forces with God obtains three great privileges: omnipotence without power, intoxication without wine, and life without death. By believing passionately in that which doesn't exist, you create it, and that which has not been sufficiently desired is what we call the non-existent dash. We have but a single moment at our disposal. Let us transform that moment into eternity. No other form of immortality exists. There are three kinds of souls, three kinds of prayers. 1. I am a bow in your hands, Lord. Draw me lest I rot. 2. Do not overdraw me, Lord. I shall break. 3. Overdraw me, and who cares if I break? Choose. It's all because of doing things by halves and saying things by halves, being good by halves, that the world is in the mess it's in today. You know all about love, but that is not enough. You must also learn that hate comes from God as well, that it too is in the Lord's service. And in times like these, with the world fallen to the state it has, hate serves God more than love. A crust of lard, habit, and cowardice envelopes the soul. No matter what it craves from the depths of its prison, the lard, habit, and cowardice carry out something entirely different. If they were to ask me what road leads to heaven, I would answer them, the most difficult. I surrender myself to everything. I love, I feel pain, I struggle. The world seems to me wider than the mind, my heart a dark and almighty mystery. If you have faith, a splinter from an old door will become a holy relic. And if you have no faith, the entire Holy Cross will become an old door. Time is not a field to be measured in rods, nor a sea to be measured in miles. It is a heartbeat. All the political, social, and economic improvements, all the technical progress cannot have any regenerating significance so long as our inner life remains as it is at present. Death had entered my life with a familiar and well-loved face, like a friend come to call for you and who waits patiently in a corner until you have finished your work. I am not yet a complete person. I am struggling to conquer my weakness. I am good at finding what is right, at inflaming various souls, at lighting up various minds. But I am unable, on my own, to come in contact with people, to battle against indifference, ridicule, or even small talk. As far as I can see, your lordship's never been hungry, never killed, never stolen. Whatever can you know of the world? You've got an innocent's brain, and you skins never felt the sun. How does the light of a star set out and plunge into black eternity in its immortal course? The star dies, but the light never dies. Such also is the cry of freedom. With clarity and quiet, I look upon the world and say, all that I see, hear, taste, smell, and touch are the creations of my mind.